My morning has been fantastic. I fried up some bacon for breakfast, and then I put it in an omelet. But I made the bacon like extra crispy, so that when you put it in the omelet, it doesn't get all soggy. Pure genius. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Thugged Out Thursday, your TLG weekly commentary. Before we get started, quick shout out to Panzer Babe, who is our thug of the week. Now, this girl is a perfect example of what it means to be a true thug. She's a hardworking mother who is somehow finding a way to balance the responsibilities of not only taking care of her child, but also furthering her education. She's going back to school to get her bachelor's degree, which just sets an amazing example for kids, but especially the adults out there that are really in that struggle of, finding a career. So Panzer Babe, you definitely deserve a shout out. Now, if you yourself want to get the thug of the week, or perhaps nominate your friends and family, all you have to do is tell me what makes you a thug by filling out the form on the contact page of thuglifegaming.com. Now, getting into today's subject matter, if you will, today we're talking about independent video game developers, or the phrase that you and I commonly know as indie games. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I personally believe that indie games don't get enough credit or spotlight in the video game industry, and I don't think that's caused by the companies behind the games as much as it is gamers in general. There's a lot of gamers that don't fully understand the artistry and creativity that comes with developing these games. However, that is where I come in. Alright, hopefully by the end of this video, you can just appreciate indie games a little bit more and have a better understanding of them. Now, in order to do that, let me give you the technical definition of what an indie game is. So, indie games are video games that are either created by individuals or a small group of people. Now, generally speaking, they don't have a video game publisher in order to provide them with financial support, which ultimately leads to these game developers relying on innovation and creativity to really push their game sales. So, to make that very simple for you, if you don't have a publisher, you're fucking broke. Okay, you are broke. You don't have someone constantly shoveling you money in order to get the types of gameplay mechanics that you want. So that's where the creativity and innovation comes in, and that's why independent video games are what I consider to be artistry. And a great example of that is a documentary called Indie Game the Movie. It's actually on Netflix. I recommend that you watch it the next time you sign in. So just click the search bar and you have an hour and a half of video game knowledge to have fun with. But basically, this movie follows a few different teams of independent developers along their journey of creating these video games. Now, the most popular one that I'm most positive you have heard of is an arcade game called Super Meat Boy. Now, this wasn't created by a publicly owned video game developer that has hundreds of employees developing a game with billions of dollars of money to just throw left and right. No. This video game was created by just 2 individuals, and it took multiple years to create. Now, there is pros and cons to that, right? And if there's one thing that I really want to emphasize to you guys, it's that, in order to pull off these independent titles, the indie developers behind them are required, absolutely required, to have an insane amount of dedication, drive, and passion. Because essentially, these are groups of people that come together as maybe friends or family that are putting themselves out there. They're taking the risk of achieving or chasing after a dream because of their love for video games. Now, that's easier said than done, because the struggle of staying laser focused on your dream can sometimes be extremely difficult when you have friends or maybe family members that are doubters. These people that are telling you it's a waste of time. Or maybe you don't have the financial support in order to carry your dream forward or take it to the next level. Or sometimes maybe it's something as simple as your bus breaks down before you get to the gaming convention in order to show off the game that you've been working on. And in some way, you know, I can personally relate to that with trying to make YouTube entertainment my career. So every time I see an indie game on the Xbox dashboard, or I see the sales of an independent title going through the roof, it makes you feel good on the inside, just knowing that hard work does pay off. And it's more or less just a big F you to all of the haters out there. Haters, if you're watching right now, thank you for sticking in here for 5 minutes. I appreciate that. But, you know, the pros, the benefit really of creating these indie games is because only a few people are making them, if they're massively successful, you and those few other individuals are reaping all of the rewards of it. I mean, look at Super Meat Boy. You know, they sold millions of copies of that game and they split the money that was profited from it with just a couple of people. So there is, you know, some great benefits. The whole journey is a fantastic learning experience for them. And probably my favorite thing about indie games is because they're not, you know, being controlled by publicly owned companies that are simply trying to just please shareholders, if you will. They have the freedom and they don't have as many limitations to their creativity or what they want to express through their video game. And I love that. So, you know, now that we've talked about the struggle of, you know, developing these indie titles, I kind of want to give you guys 2 examples. I want to showcase 2 games that have really changed gaming culture for the better that were created from independent developers. And then after that, I want to give you guys some recommendations of some amazing indie titles that you can hop online and try the demos for yourselves so that you can experience the innovation and creativity required to make these games successful. Now, those 2 titles that I was referring to are MindCraft and League of Legends. That's right, there are so many people that tend to forget that both of these games started off as independent studios. So look at the effect that they've had on gaming culture. Minecraft has its own freaking gaming convention now, and League of Legends is arguably the biggest video game in esports. And how were both of these games created? From a small group of passionate gamers. I mean, that's essentially at its core, that's exactly what it is. So you gotta really respect independent games. Now, with that being said, some of the titles that I recommend you guys hop on your PlayStation, hop on your Xbox, or maybe just jump on Steam and download are, first of all, Ori and the Blind Forest. Now, visually, this is arguably the most beautiful indie game that I've played. Very stunning to look at, gonna keep you entertained. The second one is for my PlayStation fans out there, alright? It's a title called Journey. Now, I shit you not, this game actually got Game of the Year from a number of different news and media sources, which is including all of those AAA million-dollar budget games that you and I have come to love, and it got Game of the Year over them. So definitely go check that out. The next one, a little bit more of a puzzle solver, but nonetheless visually very creative. It's a title called Limbo. I'm sure you have heard of it. It's a fantastic game. Definitely recommend it. And the last one is my own personal favorite. Don't hate on me here. This game is called Dishwasher Dead Samurai. It's a, you know, 2D stage hack and slash type of, you know, get the best arcade score type of deal. And I'm not even kidding. When it came out, I was a huge fan, and I was actually #1 in the world on 2 different stages. I had the best score on 2 different stages. However, that was years ago, so I doubt my score is even holding up at all if the leaderboards haven't been hacked. But nonetheless, you guys have got to go check out these games. Perfect representations of why indie studios and developers are fantastic. But that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to comment below, click the thumbs up button, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then obviously you don't care about my future or who I am as an individual. Alright, let me get out of here, guys. You know the deal. Keep living that life, baby. Because that's what thugs do. Take it easy, guys.